I think they are now with the connection that they have.
Let me see. If the folks can hear with their headsets, they're wanting to do a test. Make sure.
Yeah, just a quick.
Okay.
You should get the touch. You might be able to.
Test. Test, test. Test, volume test. What? Volume test. Volume test. Test it from where you are. Volume test.
First, we took care of a housekeeping matter regarding findings of fact and conclusions of law on a 3-5 hearing. You received a copy of those?
It was on the desk when I walked in this morning, yes.
Any objection to the form?
I'm not inclined to sign it. It's been a while since this has been presented contemporaneously. I would be more inclined to sign it.
Does appear to be consistent with my previous comment. This time. And then we're here for sentencing of the parties ready to proceed.
Yes. We are.
Now, state the calculation of offender score and standard range.
Standard range is 240 to 320
That's your understanding as well.
It is.
And there was a conviction for murder in the second degree. It appears that would merge into the first count. I know it's just separate judgment and sentence. Is that how the parties understand it?
That is my understanding, Your Honor, and pursuant to case law, I believe we need to vacate count.
That is my understanding.
Okay, was there a representative of the victim's family who wishes to speak?
Your Honor, I believe we have 4 impact statements. One from Gary Alex, one from Connie Hahn, and then I believe both children would like to make impact statements to Ed West and Megan West.
Okay, well, I did read Mr. Alex's statement. It didn't appear to be what would be a victim impact statement. It represents a dominant member of the family, representative. I don't know about the other matters that represent if there was another impact statement filed.
Connie Hahn, who was a friend of Marcy's, she testified.
You could have that copy. Did you get a copy of these documents?
I have the one from Gary. He doesn't have his last name on it, but I do have that one. I don't have the one from Connie. It was forwarded this morning. I haven't seen it.
Do you have a separate copy for Mr. Walker and Mr. West?
Did you send them an email address, Counsel?
Yes.
What time did you send it?
While you're looking at that, then you said you had 2 members of the victim's family who wished to speak.
At least 2, Your Honor. I know that Megan West and Ted West would both like to address the court. I'm not sure about any other member of the family. I believe they were going to make a decision.
Would you have the first person who wishes to speak come forward?
Call Ted West.
Come on up. You need to be seated here, or you can stand by the microphone, whichever you would prefer.
I think we want to stand. To the Honorable Judge Lewis, my name is Ted West, and I am writing to you regarding my father. I respectfully come before you to ask for leniency in his sentencing. I have the privilege of knowing my father for 22 years, and during that time he has consistently shown himself to be an empathetic, kind, and loving. His character reflects someone who genuinely cares about others and strives to do what is right. He has always put his family before himself and worked tirelessly to provide opportunities for my sister and me. My father spent many long hours working at the fire station, while my mother worked at the hospital. Despite their demanding schedules, he made sure we were supported in everything we pursued: voice lessons, art classes, dance, guitar, cheerleading, track, and cross country. He sacrificed his time and energy so that we could grow, learn, and succeed. Like many families, we experienced disagreements at times. I witnessed my father placed in difficult situations where he had to navigate conflict and make challenging decisions. Even then, he always listened carefully, considered both sides, and tried to respond thoughtfully. He made every effort to remain present and supportive in our lives. He has given me many reasons to trust him, not only through his words, but through his actions as well. Throughout my life, he has demonstrated integrity, compassion, and dedication to our family in ways that consistently matched what he said. I love and respect my father deeply. I respectfully ask that you take his character and the positive impact he has had on those around him into consideration when determining his sentence. Thank you for your time and your consideration.
Thank you. Good morning, and you can stand or sit as you choose.
Hi everyone. My name is Megan, and I'm here to speak as my mother's child. My mom was an incredible woman. Her life revolved around my brother and I. Everything she did, every sacrifice, every choice was rooted in love for her children. She showed up and always cared deeply for those around her. She was present, nurturing, and strong in the ways that mattered. I was always told that no one is perfect, but to me she was perfect. She was loving and she was my safe place. And I miss her every day, but I think it's the little things that I miss the most. I miss the way she would put her purse in her cart when we went grocery shopping, or our long car rides where she would ask me to sing to her. Or the way I can still hear her say, "Save it for the car," when there was gossip we couldn't discuss in public. I still remember the way she would smile when I would bring her her favorite flowers. I even had them tattooed on my arm, so I could see them every day and think of her. My mom was the person I turned to for comfort, guidance, and unconditional love. She knew me in a way no one else ever will. She celebrated my successes, held me together when I was struggling, and loved me without conditions or expectations. She was my constant, my support, and my sense of home. Losing her didn't just take away a parent, it took away the person who made me feel safe in this world. I loved her more than anything, and I still do. My mother cannot speak for herself anymore, so I am speaking now. She was not the monster she was portrayed to be. She was not the problem. She was the victim. I know what I say today will cause a lot of my family to hate me. I have already been judged, rejected, and blamed for speaking honestly. You all have expressed your deep anger and disappointment in me, but I cannot carry the weight of silence on top of the weight of grief. I would rather be honest about how I feel than protect a version of events that aren't true. I'd rather risk losing people than risk losing myself. And I'd rather honor my mother than stay quiet to protect a version of events that aren't true. Speaking today is not about revenge, it is about truth. It is about refusing to let my mother's life be erased or distorted. And it is about the accountability for the choices that took her from us. My father's actions took my mom's life. They took my future with her. They took moments, memories, and milestones that will never exist. No sentencing can bring her back, but acknowledging the harm done to her matters. After my mom's death, I was never allowed to be angry. Every time I reached out to you, desperate for comfort, desperate for a father, I was often shut down. You would say, "I can't handle this right now." Or you were too busy with your mistress to care that your daughter was falling apart. You made my pain an inconvenience. You made my grief something I had to carry alone. I swallowed my anger for years because there was no space for it in your world. But you don't get to take my mom from me and then expect my silence. You do not get to decide when my emotions are acceptable. Today, I'm allowing myself to feel my anger, and I will not be quiet about it anymore. What hurts in a way I will never fully be able to put into words is that you didn't just take my mom from me. You had the nerve to look me in the eyes days later and ask if I was relieved she was dead. Relieved. After you killed her, that question is something I will carry with me for the rest of my life. It was cruel. It was heartless. It was inhuman. You didn't just kill my mom. You tried to steal my right to grieve her. You killed the person who loved me, who raised me, and who was my home. And then you attempted to twist that devastation into something I should somehow feel thankful for. You tried to rewrite the most worst moment in my life into a favor you did for me. Regardless of what people say, my brother and I are victims too. You didn't just take our mom from us, you tried to use us to save yourself. Last year when I was rushed to the ER, when my body was literally shutting down from the stress and the trauma, you didn't come to my side. You didn't call the doctors to ask what was happening. You didn't pray for me. Instead, you went to your attorney to figure out how my suffering could help you in court. You saw my seizures, not as a sign that your daughter was breaking under the weight of what you had done, but as something you could possibly twist to your advantage. That was beyond neglect. It was exploitation. And then, when you knew I was trying to recover, you had the audacity to call me while you were drunk, crying and sobbing, apologizing over and over and dumping your emotions at me like I was your parent. You never said what you were sorry for, but at that moment, I knew you were guilty. You tried manipulating me against my own mother because of what you and your attorney pushed me to say during the trial. People have tried against me saying I should be dead too. That is what you have done to your children. You didn't just destroy your family, you tried to use us as collateral in your wreckage. A father is supposed to shield his children from harm. Instead, you used us to shield yourself. You exploited our trauma, our confusion, and our love for you in an attempt to escape accountability. Even after taking our mother from us, you still found ways to hurt us in the cruelest way possible. And then days after you killed my mother, you brought your mistress into our home. It was just days, and my mother wasn't even in the ground yet. And you were already trying to install her new replacement. You didn't just disrespect her memory, you bulldozed over it. You stood there and expected us to accept this woman like she belonged in the space my mom built with her own life. Like my mom was just some temporary inconvenience that you could swap out once you got rid of her. The arrogance was sickening, and it showed me exactly how little my mother's life and our grief meant to you. You actually expected us to fall in line, to smile, to play along, to pretend this wasn't a betrayal on top of murder. But don't think I didn't see the wedding band on her left ring finger the last time I saw her. You may be really good at rewriting stories, but you were terrible at hiding the evidence. You didn't give us time to breathe. You didn't give us space to mourn. You acted like we should just adjust, adapt, and move on, as if the woman who carried us, who loved us fiercely, could be replaced. Any chance you got, you always told people how strong I was, how you never had to worry about me, like it was something I should be proud of. What you don't understand is that I didn't choose to be strong. I was forced to be. I had to become strong because the one person who's supposed to protect our family destroyed it. I had to swallow my fear, my anger, and my heartbreak just to survive the chaos you created. And that strength you talk about, it came from trauma. It came from losing my mom in the most horrific way possible, and from realizing I could no longer rely on you. But you were right about one thing. You don't have to worry about me. Not because of you, but because despite what you've done, I have been embraced by the most incredible family who has loved me, supported me, and carried me through the darkest time of my life. They remind me every day what real love looks like, and I am standing here today because of them. And because my mom raised me to endure even when my heart is broken. The night before she was murdered, she was helping me with an astronomy project about the stars. She didn't help me because she felt like she had to, but that was just the person she was. She always wanted to help her children. Any moment she got, she always showed up. I didn't know that would be the last time I would hear her voice. Now, every night, I get to look up at the sky. There's always one star that I always see is brighter than the rest, and I know that's her. And in that light, I feel her love. My father may have taken her from this earth, but he will never take the way she shines from my life. That light is still there, and it always will be. And I will carry her with me for the rest of my life. And I will continue to speak her truth, because she deserves that. I owe her that, because love does not stay silent. Thank you.
Well said. I assume that many of you are not in court on a regular basis. This is not a performance. It is a criminal sentencing. And if you cannot comport your behavior to a criminal courtroom, then you'll need to leave. I will not tolerate another outbreak like that again. Would you have any other members of the family who wish to speak? State comment on that?
Thank you, Your Honor. Is it okay if I remain seated so that I can see my notes?
You can.
Thank you. As the court knows, the jury returned a verdict on January 20th, 2026 for guilty on both counts of the information. Count 1, murder in the first degree domestic violence, and count 2, murder in the second degree domestic violence. As previously indicated, count 2 was an alternative theory of felony murder, and they do encompass the same course of conduct, so we are vacating count 2. And as indicated, the standard range with an offender score of 0 on count 1 is 240 to 320 months. The state is requesting 320 months of prison, which is the high end of the standard range, as well as 36 months of community custody. We would ask for DOC to calculate credit for time served. As the court knows, we start at a presumption of mid-range, which in this case would be 280 months, and then go up or down from there depending on the aggravating or mitigating circumstances. The state's position is that a high-end sentence is absolutely warranted in this case, given the egregious lack of remorse demonstrated by the defendant. Even now, Mr. West has not accepted responsibility for his actions. Not once has he acknowledged what he did to his wife and the mother of his children. Every opportunity to show humanity or remorse has instead been used to reinforce the same implausible story that he manufactured from the beginning, a story that was inconsistent with the evidence, a story the jury soundly rejected. His behavior is that of a man deeply invested in preserving himself, not in remorse or the truth. That is echoed in the sentencing memorandum and letters of support filed by defense in this case for purposes of sentencing. In the 8 letters submitted to the court in support of the defendant last night, and the one additional one this morning, Marcy's name was not mentioned one time. What distinguishes this case, and what makes it particularly aggravated, is how far Mr. West was willing to go to protect his own self-interest after killing his wife. He called first responders, his close friends and co-workers, involving them unwittingly in a cover-up of a staged medical event without their knowledge or consent. He traumatized them while knowing that they likely had no chance of saving Marcy. And then, to add insult to injury, he suggested at trial that their life-saving attempts somehow caused the injuries that the medical examiner determined was the result of a vascular strangulation. He deflected blame onto the public servants that rushed in to help the very woman that he had harmed. Not only did he take a loving mother away from her children, what is even more troubling was the predicament he placed those children in. The way in which blame was deflected onto at least one child further showed his lack of remorse. The court will recall from trial the nature of Ted's prior statements, and that when in trial, such testimony drastically had been changed following his time residing with the defendant in this ward. He blamed the contusion on the back of Marcy's head on his son in yet another improbable attempt to save himself at the expense of the children that Marcy loved. Mr. West's conduct after the murder mirrors the selfishness that motivated it. It demonstrates that he doesn't care who he hurts, so long as it furthers his interests. Marcy cannot speak for herself. Her children lost their mother, whether or not they fully appreciate how or why. Her family lost a daughter, a sister, and many lost a dear friend. On top of the grief of losing her, they had to listen to the defendant blame everything and everyone except himself. They deserve the dignity of a sentence that acknowledges the harm done. Not only the harm done to Marcy, but the ripple effect of the cover-up. The state respectfully submits that the defendant's behavior, his total lack of remorse, his deliberate exploitation of others to sustain his lies, warrants a sentence at the highest end of what the law permits. Thank you.
Right, there was some reference to letters, or the letters that you want the court to consider, Mr. Walker?
Yeah, we filed all those letters.
When will you file?
They were filed yesterday, and we sent copies to you.
You want me to see them? You want me to step off the bench and review them? You want me to consider documents? You can get them beforehand, or be notified of the record. So, if you want me to consider them, you can provide me with copies now, or I'll have. Next, we'll take a brief recess while I read the materials in.
This is actually, I added
Some highlights? So just yesterday. Oh my God, yesterday.
No, just read it now so we can't understand.
Oh, okay.
I can't. I don't need to.
Yeah, really.
It's just, immediately I'll get a copy of my letter because it was filed with the court.
I get kicked out. She wants to get kicked out. Sorry, it was worth it.
I can't read it, so you can read it.
Yeah, yeah.
Nursing school, clinical state.
And so it's going.
How she was.
You gotta do that. There's so many prisoners.
Did you read it? Yeah. Like 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's getting you in it, but it takes some time. I know.
How are you? Going to work after this.
I flexed my ass.
Okay.
Okay? My partner let me know.
I don't know what you're doing. It was. It was a shock. She's still good. She was. I can't see that.
They're checking now. You say 5 to 7.
She's like the sister.
5 to 7 documents. Oh, yeah. Okay, so that. I wonder if they accidentally combined it. Yeah, because they have to send it. Which we can file these ones if they didn't make it through.
Yeah. And like how great we're actually
Which that can be just because all day. They're checking. Yeah.
Ours are not going to be higher than we don't want it to.
She's pushing them through right now. She's not.
She's an English shorter starting ones, and she bought the dog in France, and they had to bring that dog back and bring our dog. And she was going to have to keep her dog, and we were like, I mean, I know she's going to keep her dog, but
All rise. Court is back in session.
And then the opportunity to review the statements from the on behalf of the state and the number of characters, letters filed on behalf of Mr. West. Your comments, Mr. Walker?
Thank you. Judge, in doing these matters over a number of years, it always has a tendency to split families up, make people go to one side or the other. It's very common. This case is certainly no exception. But in speaking for Mr. West, he maintains his innocence in this case. I am his attorney. That is my position. So I want to preface what I'm going to say with that as a background. There is a tendency to characterize a person forevermore as the person who was found to have done by a jury the worst thing it could have done. But that is not all Mr. West is. He led a life of many years of responding to calls at all hours of the night. He helped thousands of people overcome acute illnesses and injuries. He was a dedicated professional who helped motivate other professionals. He was an asset to the community, no question about that. And his, however their relationship may have been, he did raise two wonderful children. You saw them here, you saw them through the trial. They speak well, they're very poised. They are an asset to the community, regardless of what they say. So, Your Honor, the standard guidelines envision, this is the standard guidelines for premeditated murder in first degree. So there's a bunch of ways of committing it. If I were to design a way to make it the least egregious, it would be something close to this. The state's theory at trial was that it was an argument that escalated into a strangulation that because of the duration of the strangulation amounted to time to, enough time to reflect and form intent to kill. So that's what they relied upon. If that's the case, this is something that's almost more akin to murder in the second degree, but the jury did find murder in the first degree. So, but it would be, I suggest, toward the lower end of the range. That is why we are requesting 240 months.
West, is there anything you want to say before I accept this?
Yes, I understand. Your Honor, Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for taking time for your day to be here. On January 8th, 2024, we lost Marcy. She was a daughter, a sister, cousin, an aunt, wife, a mother, and a friend of many. I made every effort to save her life, but was unable to, even with the prompt and professional response of the Kansas Washington Fire Department, East County Fire and Rescue, and the Washington Police Department. Their efforts and their sacrifice of responding to one of their own will always be remembered and recognized. To Peggy, Marcy's mother, I loved you as a son. Marcy and I cared for you when you were ill in our home, where you witnessed how Marcy and I worked as a team, along with my kindness and gentle nature. I would care for you the same way today. I have known you just as you have known me, ever since the day I took you to dinner expressing how much I love your daughter and my desire to marry her. I am truly sorry for having an affair. I know that it was wrong, and I should have waited for the divorce to be final. For that, I am deeply sorry. However, that was my only wrongdoing. You have known me long enough that I'm not capable of such hate as to harm anyone in any way. Peggy, I am so deeply sorry for your loss. To Jim, Marcy's brother, and Tasha, Marcy's sister-in-law, over the course of our marriage, we were only able to meet and spend time together 5 or 6 times. You both always showed kindness to me, and similarly, I always welcomed your family with love and generosity, just as I would today. I love both of your kids, and I always will. You trusted me with them, and I made every effort to create special memories between them and I offer you all a true apology for my indiscretion over having an affair. Again, my only wrongdoing. To the Canonsville Sheboygan Fire Department, I'm truly sorry for allowing my work ethic to decline. Throughout my career, I have never allowed my work ethic to falter. Those I worked with knew my heart and how much I loved the work and those I responded with. I have spent my entire adult life serving the public, coworkers I considered family, and was so incredibly proud of what I had achieved and the achievements of those I mentored. I will never get over the loss of my career and those I had the privilege to respond with. In conclusion, a mockery has been made of my wife's passing. She'd be mortified at what has been displayed of her. My heart goes out to all of her friends and family who had to endure this very difficult time as well. Marcy was a loving wife in her own special way. We shared many good times and difficult ones as well. She was an extremely loving and dedicated mother who worked tirelessly in every aspect of our kids' lives. Throughout this social media frenzy of lies and hate, local and national news coverage, the most important thing that has been lost is celebrating Marcy's life and restoring her memory. We must all tell her many life stories and special memories so we can all appreciate her and her many contributions while on this earth. Please, in your time, take a moment of silence, even if you didn't know her, and allow Marcy to rest in peace. Thank you.
Well, the court had the opportunity to sit through the trial and review the evidence in the case, and I've heard the statements related to the state's recommendations and to Mr. West. I'm not here, would not fault the jury concerning their verdict. They found him guilty of first-degree murder, and I'm just sentenced accordingly. I recognize that over the course of your life, you've apparently not had prior convictions, and that recognize many people speak very highly of the life you've lived and the things you've done. That always makes it more difficult for the court to understand how a person with a life of that nature turns down a path that ultimately leads to the death of another human being. 280 months is the presumptive sentence. I balance against that your lack of criminal history and the good things you've done. Counterbalance to that is the fact that although the circumstances may have resulted in a death that was unexpected in the sense that it may not have been what you initially planned to do, the indications are that faced with the consequences of committing felony assault in the beginning and then in the process taking a person's life, you engaged in some planning and deliberation in making sure that the death by strangulation was successful and that beginning the process of covering up. That sort of motivation, that sort of advanced use of knowledge related to the human body and what would and what wouldn't work to save a person indicates more culpability than a norm of misunderstanding. A person has the right to enter a plea of not guilty and fully contest charges, and I never impose a sentence based upon whether or not they chose to plead guilty or go to trial. But the jury has found, and I concur with their finding, that in this case, your explanations don't make any sense. The only thing that makes sense is that you deliberately killed the victim in this case and ripped your family apart and created a great tragedy for a vast number of people as a result. So 300 months will be the sentence of the court. Given credit for any time you served, you'll be on community custody for the maximum period following that, and on the conditions suggested. Because of the length of your incarceration, I don't know your financial circumstances otherwise, but indicating that restitution will be set in the amount to be determined, unless you have a figure at this time. With regard to other legal financial obligations, the defendant contending that he's innocent.
He is, Your Honor. He was at one point deemed so by the Office of Public Defense, and I'll be addressing that with a motion to court later, but we would ask the court to find Mr. West he is
Based on that, then, and the length of your incarceration and other circumstances, I don't impose any other legal financial obligation.
thank you.
Are you requesting a no contact order with any member of the victim's family?
I don't know that that has been requested.
I'll advise you at this time that several consequences of your conviction. You may not own, possess, or have under your control any firearm, and under federal law, any firearm or ammunition, unless your right to do so is restored either by this court or by the court in which you're convicted, and by a superior or the Superior Court of Washington State, rather than by a federal court in some circumstances. You have a concealed pistol license, you must immediately surrender it. You understand that? Also lose the right to vote, it would be a crime for you to vote until that right is restored by operation of law. Do you understand that?
I do believe there are going to be several requested no contact orders, Your Honor, what required is
And who would those be for?
I'll show Jim.
Yeah, I don't believe that a basis has been established for the no contact orders.
What are the names of the people who want no contact order?
Yes, is it Usher Mulder, who is the sister-in-law of Marcy, Jim Mulder, who is the brother of Marcy, and Megan West, who is the daughter.
Would be relative to the victim's family, it appears to me that no contact orders are appropriate, and you could submit them. The West, I'll advise you at this time that you have the right to appeal your conviction as a sentence imposed as it's outside the standard range. Unless you file a notice of appeal within 30 days of today's date, you will lose the right to appeal forever. The court clerk, upon request, will supply you with a notice of appeal form to file it after you complete it if your attorney will not assist you with those things. Because you have the right to appeal, you have the right to have the cost of the appeal paid and an attorney appointed to assist you at public expense if you cannot afford those things yourself. And any petition or motion for collateral attack on this judgment and sentence, including but not limited to any personal restraint petition, state habeas corpus petition, motion to vacate judgment, motion to withdraw guilty plea, motion for new trial, or motion to arrest judgment, must be filed within 1 year of the final judgment in this matter, except as provided for in RCW 10.73.100 and RCW 10.73.090. You understand all of that? Okay. I signed the documents to reflect my ruling. They'll be handed down to you for review with your counsel, and what you think is anything for you to something else that needs to matter.
No, Your Honor, just the no contact orders, so we'll get those and print them out, and then,
That's fine. I think the objection is to the form rather than content. So I can review those and come back out on the bench to do it. Otherwise, Seriously?
It just. It just
I'm telling you right now.
He's actually very young in that way. She's actually old. She's okay. 12 so. Okay.
But now it's not doing enough turns. I something like that.
Sorry?
Oh, no, it's okay. We're just solving problems. We're trying to.
Fun.
Yeah.
Just got a phone.
That's mine, yeah. Audio. It's okay. Maybe not.
What are you filming for?
Dateline.
Oh, Dateline.
What's the timeline?
Depends. It could be a while. Not years.
Yes.
But we're not sure.
The court teams are coming again today.
Oh, absolutely.
Young's right. Yeah, oh my God. They're overridden by old people. Oh, I could totally. Yeah. She works 2 days a week. Yes. And she oh yeah. I'm using her yes. Of course. That's right. Yeah. I understand. Yeah. Good. I do like him. Yeah, he's a great guy. That would be really hard. Yeah, she is. Probably. Next one is Amy, and the third one is.
Sign up. You can send me the LCIs too, email or later.
Yeah, he's always asking. This is different. In classes, they don't even let you put anything in the son, you've taken a lot of children in one vacation. So you gotta figure it out. Yeah. Well, once you get to 3, yeah, it's not here in the car. Yeah, yeah. It's nice. Hotel rooms. I'm sleeping in a twin bedroom, about a cot or something. 3 kids. 10-year-olds. Yeah, exactly. You know, no. But when you get a car, you get 2 rooms, right? Cars, trips, like you're always separated. So I had 2 girls. Yeah. And I go for a boy. And I'm gonna have a third girl. I had 5 sisters. Like I guess we're gonna have cheating daughters. But then when those are different, 3 to 4. It's not. Once you get exactly. That's true. Yeah. But 2 to 3. Yeah, makes sense. So we'll see. You know, they say these things, but she does love a big family. You know, I have one family. Yeah, well, it's expensive. It's expensive. We can't leave until I know. Let's see what I'm going to throw us out with that. I almost got checked out. I'm like, this is worth it. I didn't. I don't sign up first. We're kind of going to go from there, bail you out. No. Yeah, seriously. I'll put somebody on your books while Katie's bailing you out. As a ghost. Chip, somebody buns. Kicking us out. That's true. You're married to that? Oh, yeah. I said, you're married. Did you bring a credit card? Katie says, you'd have to go to us. You guys, I didn't bring anybody to bail my account. Very strong sense of justice. Yeah, yeah. His speaker, we speak by the time he gets out.
That's the court system. I think it's an automatic thing. Pardon me? Yeah. That box? Yes. Was it? Yeah. Showed up.
No, Kevin wouldn't. Yeah. So she no, she had it. Yeah. You guys always had it. Yeah. Yeah. It was I don't know if she's reached out. I wonder if we can send them some ads.
I'm hearing just a shotgun. Yeah, because we couldn't get that. You can probably yeah. Did you get what you need, or are you going to need a file?
There were some technical problems in the beginning, and so I didn't get the first statement. And then the second one, there was frames where it just went off the light, and then it cut, and then it came back. And so I still did get most of it on my camera, and it's still recording them.
Yeah.
Just not the thing.
I think she just dies fast.
He said it was okay. Yeah, if we could just copy the SD card, then we can so much.
Yeah, I'm all over that.
We have another crew on the way, so we're really going to be in a mess. There's really more cooks in the kitchen. Yeah. I think they're just planning on, for the 4, 5, and 6, that they're turning a package and VOs or whatever. I mean, at least I have something to work on. Everyone's getting attention.
Technical problems. Get that to it.
And they counted the students.
I got a few messages. And so,
Oh, like a 10, like 720 or something like that.
well,
Yeah, remember, one of your colleagues from the Institute had a problem with that. Remember, practice count. Yeah, we had a single wouldn't go into the camera because of 7 whatever.
and what happens is the output is exactly as I press it.
Oh,
And so, yeah, it looks weird.
then you gotta go in and really adjust the frame.
It doesn't, yeah, so it's like a little setting, it doesn't allow you to switch it. Where were we at? he's going on an SD card. So like, up later.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, we can talk now. Yeah. We need to. Yeah. Because I'm down all the time. So we did that. And I want to go do it now. Yes. Like once in a while. I get it. Yeah. But yeah. I mean, I like it. Oh, I'm together. Who made me a long time?
I don't even want to touch it, I'm just scared.
I'll be rolling as soon as I can. Trying to conserve space.
No, it's been so good. But even this is an even bigger club. So I just had to. I'm surprised they didn't. Yeah.
Just put it this way, he's going to be 75 years old.
Yeah, I know.
His body's going to be totally destroyed. No, but you can spend 25 years. They're not going to be nice to him there. Look him up.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Deuces.